We were in a master gardening class together almost 5 years ago now. And I was sitting in class and I just moved to Augusta, and I have all of these older ladies in the class and they say, "Oh, that's Kim Hines. Oh, we love Kim." And everybody's talking and chittering about Kim Hines and the great things that she's doing. I'm going, who in the world is Kim Hines? So from that, I started to hear more and more about Augusta Locally Grown and the great things that they did. So when I came on at the Extension office, one of my first lines of business was how can we include more of Augusta Locally Grown in what they do. So I'm excited for Kim to be presenting this morning, and you get to hear about the great things that Augusta Locally Grown is doing and how we can help them out some more. So come on up, Kim.
Do I have to use the microphone? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good job of projecting.
Thank you for having me here today. I really very much appreciate it. And I very much love speaking with groups. And I kind of have my pet talks that I do. One of them starts with the question, what does Augusta taste like? And that's a really good question for all of us to kind of think about, especially as we, as a city, evolve our corporate food identity, one that we don't have yet, I might add. Great opportunity there. Another question that I often ask is, how many farmers did your breakfast feed this morning? How many local farmers did your breakfast feed this morning? And that's kind of putting you on the spot, right? And that's what we're meant to do. We are activists. We are a nonprofit organization putting it in your face, the opportunity to truly support local farmers, because those are the entrepreneurs that I am speaking on behalf of today. But those are not the questions I'm going to ask y'all today, because I have the opportunity to ask you business people about how we can evolve what we are doing in a very specific time space, and that is 2019. And we call it Nourishment 19, and it is our opportunity to use the old clubhouse. Remember that one where y'all used to hang out? We have been granted a 1-year opportunity to use that space to showcase the local food system and our nonprofit organization from January through December. That's a tall order, and that's a very, very fast pace in my world, in a world where it takes 40 days just to grow a little radish. Yeah. Before I ask you, before I engage you, I just want to help you understand what's at stake here, and as financially, right, as a city. So here we go. Think about your own industry. By the way, Greg, I loved what you're talking about, and we need to connect your industry and my industry big time. Think about your industry. How old is your industry? Anyone want to venture a guess at how old your industry is? Raise your hand and let me know. Yes, sir.
2008.
2008. So doing the math, your industry is 11 years old. Anyone else?
2,000 years.
2,000 years. Agriculture. Actually, I'm going to go back further than that.
Since creation.
Agriculture, the growing of food. Humans have been growing food for about 10,000 years. The industry that I represent is 10,000 years old. Yeah? We've been through a lot of ups and downs in that time. And I would venture to say that we're in a downtime right now, in many ways. And what I mean by that is, does anyone know here how much the average American's household spends on food every year? What's the percentage of total cost from your income?
A percentage or?
Percentage, thank you. Yeah, I'm asking it.
Over 50%?
Not 50%. We're spending of our household income 12% on food. That's you're eating some very good food. 12% of food. 12% of your household income is spent on food. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And yet, very few people are going into agriculture because they are not making money as farmers. Will you hold on 1 second? Average age of a farmer in the CSRA area. Anyone like to venture that guess?
47.
Not 47. Guess again. I'm not going to let Judy guess because she totally knows. Anyone else?
Me guess either.
I'm not going to let Debbie guess either. The average age of the farmer in the CSRA is 68 years old. 68 years old. Those are the local farmers in your area growing your food. By the way, that's the average age. We are not going into farming. We are not going into horticulture. We are not growing food as a community. And as a result, we are missing out of a lot of money. We are missing out on the opportunity to keep local food money local. Yeah? And that's why we need to showcase the local food system. We need to provide an opportunity for our farmers to be celebrated as rock stars, for the chefs who use local food to be celebrated as cutting-edge entrepreneurs. For our RDs, we have 2 graduate students from Augusta University here who are studying dietetics. We have an incredible community of dietitians in our community. We need to celebrate these people as cutting-edge healthcare professionals. Because frankly, as a city, not only are our farmers average age of 68, not only are we not growing nearly enough food to meet the demands that our chefs and our families have, but we are also sick because the food that the average American is consuming is making us sick. My favorite TED Talk of all time, Ron Finley says, food is the problem and food is the solution. Yes? If you haven't watched that TED Talk, please do. So I am here today to ask you to brainstorm with me on ways over the next remaining 9 months to showcase the local food system within the beautiful space that had been the clubhouse and still is the clubhouse, so that as many Augustans as possible can learn and be in touch with and interact with these beautiful ingredients that our farmers are producing, so that we can inspire more people to support them, we can bring more and younger farmers to our area, and so that we can heal our own bodies with ingredients that are nutrient dense and just frankly delicious. And moreover, so that we can keep all those food dollars, 12% of your income in our city. So I'm just gonna open it up. I'm just gonna open it up and just ask you to ask me, what are we doing now? Where are we at? And what don't you know about what we're doing? Yes, sir.
Other than a farmer's market, where can you buy?
Oh, it's my favorite question. So Augusta Locally Grown runs an online farmers market. We are now in our 11th year of doing that, with 2 locations in Evans and one at the Old Richmond Academy building. There are some local farmers at the downtown market. If more people if more people supported local farmers at the downtown river market, more farmers would go there. That is just key. There is now a brand new reinvented farmers market in Columbia County. There had been a farmer's market in Grovetown once a month, but they shut down because they can't find enough farmers. We are in big trouble. We as an organization do events on farms so that you can get to know and develop relationships directly with farmers. Debbie, for example, right here, she's a local food entrepreneur and activist, and she is using her own business to make those connections on behalf of other food businesses. How did I forget the Veggie Park Market? We also have the Veggie Park Farmers Market, which we call the most feel-good farmers market in Augusta. It runs April through October. It'll start April 16th. It is the only farmers market in Augusta that doubles EBT food stamps, and is the only farmers market where you will find all fruits and vegetables are certified organic and naturally grown. Yes, sir.
So what's happening to the farms when the older farmers are no longer, I mean, are they getting bought and then they're corporately run?
You can tell from my accent that I'm not from here. I am a Midwesterner through and through. And I am 53 years old. I have watched my entire life as a Midwesterner, family local farms be bought out by corporate farms that are focused on commodity crops. I know grown men who have broken down in tears because they could no longer afford to farm. My husband grew up on a farm, and his father, they had 20 acres in Missouri. And his father had to work a full-time job in the steel mills just to afford to farm. Right now, if I were to introduce you to local farmers, all of them have other jobs in order to afford to farm, except for one. All of them that I know. One of the most established, one of the most savvy farmers that we have in our area is Dick Bine from Bine's Blueberry Farm. Dick Bine has been growing blueberries organically for longer than the word organic has existed in the way we know it today. Dick Bine is a savvy businessman. He's in Whole Foods. He has done his work, and he value adds to his product. Dick Bine drives a school bus to make ends meet, and so that he can have health insurance. This is not right. Blueberries are some of the most easy crop to grow in the state of Georgia. Yeah, it's technical why it's easy, but blueberries do bring in good money for farmers in the state of Georgia, but not enough for them to live on alone. That's why I'm an activist. To be able to have the opportunity to change the priorities, change the ways in which we're spending our money. Yes.
Do you know the percentage of how many local restaurants use local farmers' products?
I feel like all of these questions I have just like.
Or just generally?
Well, yes, I do. On our website, we have two websites. One is called AugustaLocallyGrown.net. That is our online farmers market website. Well, we have a second one called AugustaLocallyGrown.org. And that's our organizational website. On AugustaLocallyGrown.org, you will find a place where Debbie actually right now helps us with a campaign called Augusta Eats Local. And on our website it says where to eat. And we're featuring every month a different restaurant that is supporting local farmers. Moya Cafe supports local farmers, by the way. They have been buying from Southern Swiss Dairy, their milk products, for a good long while now. The chocolate bars in that they feature in there feature different local products, including lavender from the beautiful lavender farm in Deering, Georgia, for example. I can go pretty deep if you want me to. I can also tell you who's not buying local and saying they are, but we won't do that this morning. Yes?
I think the most profound thing that you actually presented was the story about that farmer. And so I'm wondering are you using these stories like as leverage to draw more awareness? Because I can see how something like that in something like in an Instagram story or in a Facebook Live post, something like that, those things would be very exciting and to kind of create awareness, and also be really attractive to like go to those places and meet those people, because as Grace said, people in my demographic between the ages of 23 to 30, that 23, 35, that hipster range, like they look for experiences, so that'd be something that'd be very exciting.
Thank you for saying that. We do need to tell the stories of the farmers better. We do write one farmer story a month on the Facebook. The Facebook. I am not a millennial, you know. But so often the stories are the positive end. And not often enough are we telling the hardship end. Not often enough are we telling the stories of why this farm closed, why this farmer burned out and moved to the islands. He literally did. Why this farm can't continue on because they're in their 70s. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
We
everyone
do
loves
have-
an underdog story. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
you're so right. You're so right. How do you tell an underdog story without diminishing? This is an underdog story as farmers, right? In general.
I say go day one. This guy gets up, gets in a bus, gets out of the bus, and farms. If I watched that sequence of events, you show me like the beginning and the end, and like the first 15 seconds of that video, I will watch the whole thing.
Great. That's great. These are the hardest working people in our community.
Yep.
I would never stand up here otherwise. They really are.
It's probably harder driving that daggum bus than it is farming.
For sure.
You can beat the animals at the farm, you can't beat the kids at the house. So.
He's not the only farmer I know driving a bus, by
Yeah.
the way. Yes.
You should hook up with Jonathan Larry with Uplift because he likes to feature good news kind of things, and that can help you guys get some mileage and awareness for what you're doing.
That sounds like a good idea, Joe.
Oh, you're back there, okay. Pay me before the end of the meeting, okay?
Maybe.
So just to piggyback off of that, because we do need to wrap up, is our last question, and you've already talked about a little bit how we can better help you. Do you need resources? What do you need from us? Just list a few things so that maybe afterwards we can get with you and talk more with you.
As a nonprofit, of course, we always need resources, and I just want to be able to frame this for you. Augusta Locally Grown has only one full-time paid person. Everyone else is either full-time volunteer, part-time volunteer, or working for small, very part-time stipends. We've been around for 11 years. We have done a lot. If you were to look at the list of things that we accomplished in 2018, it would fit in a binder this big. But that's not sustainable. It is time for our city to invest in the long-term improvement of our local food system by creating support for a couple of young, not me, young people who are ready to move this into the next level of improving our local food system for our health, for our economy, and for the taste of our community. Thank you.
Just real quick,
Yes.
you are groovy because the first URL for Facebook was thefacebook.com.
I'm telling you.